Well, good afternoon. Are you winning today? Winning at your life? Having success? I hope you are. Wanted to ask you a question today. Do you want a reaction from the people who are around you, or do you want the best from them? Whether it's your coworkers, your employees, your team members, your husband or wife, your children, it doesn't matter. We have relationships all around us, correct? We're relating to people very often throughout the day, every day. And we all have different personalities and different needs of those personalities, different things that motivate us. Motivate us in positive ways and motivate us in negative ways. And if you want the best out of the people around you rather than a reaction, there are certain things, certain ways of motivating. Many times we motivate in a negative form or what is negative to the people around us, and we end up with a subconscious reaction rather than their best. And a reaction kind of puts people into a survival mode, and what you get is them looking out for themselves with their survival mechanism, hoping that they can survive, trying to keep themselves intact, rather than having them in their creative arena, in their strength, being able to give you their best. And so you can end up with the result can be things that are not positive and not the best result that you could get from them or that you want. So what I'd like to encourage you today is, as you relate to people around you, find ways to create and cultivate a culture that motivates them in their strengths, motivates them to create rather than react for you. If you look at the kids, for example, right? I have 4 children. And trying to have them do their chores or clean up their room or get their homework done, we're always trying to motivate them, right? Because they're being trained, they're young, they don't know all the ins and outs of life, and so you're trying to train them to be a responsible person, someone that is a help to the community around you, the world around you, that's a positive influence in the world, rather than a drain on society. And so you're trying to motivate them into these good principles and to learn good habits and things so that they can live a successful and prosperous life. But sometimes I can even find myself trying to motivate them in an area where it's not very motivating for them, actually, and the reaction, the fear pops up. So as I've dug into the personalities and looked at every personality has a dominant fear, and realizing that when you're trying to motivate and you're touching on that fear factor, they're reacting. We as people react. And some people, it's when you're taking away my choice or my freedom, I react. When I feel like you could be using me or limiting my options, or when I feel like you're rejecting me, or when you're confronting me and you're strong, that causes a reaction, because some personalities do not like the confrontation. So I want to encourage you today, again, like I said, to find ways that are motivating, not their fear, not motivating and bringing out a reaction of the people around you, but look for the factors that motivate them to be their best. And so I take it again to my kids and I say, all right, if I want to motivate this child who's different from the rest to do a certain, I have to just turn off to do this, accomplish this task, then I will encourage them in this manner. My one daughter, she likes the big picture, and so I motivate her by giving her a whole list of her to do, and then giving her the freedom to choose how she does it, in what order, and in what time frame. I still set standards of, it's not just, all right, do your room however. It still needs to be clean in the end, but you decide at what speed, at what time of the day you get it done. Now, my other daughter, when I give her the big picture and the whole to-do list, she becomes overwhelmed, and you get a reaction. She freaks out. She overworks, and feels overwhelmed very quickly. And so for her, I break it down and I give her one step at a time and say, okay, here's this step, here's a good way to do it. If I do that with my first daughter, tell her how to do it, she becomes very frustrated because I'm taking away her freedom and her options. And so with my second daughter, I say, okay, here's a good plan on how to do it. Tackle this one, do this, that, and etc., and then come back to me and I'll give you the next instruction. And that works very well for her. So find ways to motivate, to bring out the best in the people around you, rather than touching on their fear, especially for you couples, parents as well. I mean, it doesn't matter, but you couples, one personality is staying awake at night, thinking about how they're going to change life, all the different changes that they're going to do and the steps, because that need for uncertainty and change and new and experiences is what drives them and motivates them. Meanwhile, your partner could be, a lot of times opposites attract. So hear this, opposites attract, and your partner is one who doesn't like all the change, the constant change. They like to be more secure or figure things out. And so you're staying awake at night, dreaming up all the ways you can change life and make life different. And then you're coming to your husband or wife or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is, and saying, hey, we can do this and we can do that and we can change this. And your partner's laying awake at night figuring out how they can keep things the same, because they thrive and are able to accomplish things better when they have more stability. And so you find yourselves, smacking heads and frustrating one another, and you can begin to think about why do they have to always hold me back? Why do they have to be such a limitation? Why are they trying to sabotage where I'm trying to go for us in life? But you don't realize that when you're communicating to them and working with them, you are pounding on their dominant fear, because you're making sure you're accomplishing your need, right? And vice versa, they're pounding on your dominant fear. And so both of you guys are coming up and challenging. A lot of relationships have this if we don't understand ourselves and understand those around us. And so find ways to speak. Yes, dream, see how you can change things, but when you realize that, hey, maybe your partner needs some stability, then you find ways to communicate in a different way that motivates them instead of causes a reaction out of fear. And then together, you can be a strength in each other's arena and area of constraint, and you can be a great team, and you can accomplish your dreams. You can see success in every area of your life and your relationships. But it takes understanding yourself and them and motivating those around you out of positive motivation versus touching on their fears constantly and causing reaction and them to slip into survival mode. When we are trying to survive, we are doing everything. We are clawing, kicking, and screaming just to breathe when we're trying to survive in our identity. And so you want to encourage people to thrive and grow, right, around you. And that means you'll get the best of them. You'll be able to give the best of you. And as a team, as a couple, as a family, as your kids, whatever it is, you'll have the best to give to each other, to give to the world, the best life to live. And so motivate each other out of positive things rather than touching on the fears. Okay? Enjoy your day. Bye now.